by the teams, so they have no say-so in terms of what those prices are going to be, which can really add up to be substantial. On the low end, I've calculated about $4,000 for 4 months, up to $11,000 for some of those required services for the upkeep, for the appearance of those cheerleaders.
Wow. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in March, I think it was, the U.S. Department of Labor.
Let me just say first, he's wrong
You're
normally.
usually wrong, yeah.
I mean, you think about it, and I love the fact I saw this coming years ago. I'm thinking, when these cheerleaders are obviously underpaid. It's obviously a resume pattern. You say, hey, I was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
What is that a resume pattern for, though?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
If you were a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader,
I'm not
it's something.
I'm just saying.
I know.
You would think they should be getting paid for what they're doing.
I agree.
It's not like it's going to springboard them into something else.
I agree. In March, didn't the U.S. Department of Labor closed its investigation of the Oakland Raiders? I think there was another case out there because she wasn't getting minimum wage, and they said it was considered seasonal amusement. So they closed the case. And is this going to happen with this as well? Is what I'm asking.
It's very interesting to see how this is going to play out. I'm not sure the exact wording in those cases, or what each state law requires in terms of an independent contractor's worth in comparison to salaried workers. So I think it may have something to do with this case, and then again, it may turn out to be quite different, especially as more and more teams or cheerleaders continue to bring on allegations of similar what they call financial exploitation. And when you get into the real dollar amounts, when you have contracts that require you have no choice to get certain services, haircuts, personal trainers, you must use the gym a certain time of week, a certain number of days a week, and that you have to maintain these services as a requirement for your work. There should be some sort of compensation. I would assume that these teams, they're really they know about business development and marketing and building relationships, and I really think that these cheerleaders are an important, integral part of those teams in building community relationships and bringing on, especially these days, there's so many women run households and things like that, and women are really coming over to football and looking at these sports as much as men are in a lot of markets. And I think that it would really be crucial for some of them to take a closer look at the way that some of these cheerleaders are being treated, especially because they're really worth their weight in gold and building value in the community with their team.
Yeah, and again, we're talking to Jaye, Renee, beauty industry expert and author. And can I ask you this?
Sure.
Earlier Dave even said, "Well, how is it a resume pattern?" So these cheerleaders are seeking out a cheerleading job with a professional team. Let me ask you this: why are they taking those jobs if it's not a resume pattern? And they're athletes. I totally agree with that. But why are they taking these jobs then?
Absolutely. In my opinion, they're athletes. And that's a job within itself. If those same girls were to go to college, which some of them do, and they are classified as a college student athlete, they are held by the same terms as the college football student. And unfortunately, college cheerleaders and football players, go into the next level doesn't always translate. So unfortunately, a pro-level cheerleader, you would think, there would be an increase in the way that they were treated, or they would be held to a higher standard, but it doesn't always translate. With the team, in the case of the Buffalo Bills, they're worth, as of the story, about $870 million. And then you find that the cheerleaders are being paid allegedly $1,800 to $105 after all the deductions, $105 per season. It becomes a little disconcerting, because they are professional athletes. I think there's no real resume builder for them. I think that is their job. Even if it's seasonal, they're professional athletes to a degree. Professional cheerleaders, they're athletes.
But again, they know what they're getting paid going in. Why are they taking these jobs? I have to say, it's a resume pattern. I mean, why else would they be doing it?
They're taking the jobs because they want to do it. They